Hello, welcome to Kingo Academy, and today we are having this topic of algebra. We're going to learn this topic of algebra. So let's start to look what algebra is, and then what are we going to learn in this chapter. So algebra actually is a branch of mathematics that helps to solve real life problems by using letters, numbers, and symbols. So in this chapter of algebra, you're going to learn the following things. First, you are going to learn, the first thing you are going to learn is actually to understand what is algebraic expression. So how on this one is all about how an algebra looks like, okay, or how what an algebra contain. Okay, so we are going to look all about that. As I said, algebra is all about letters, numbers, and symbols. So if you understand algebraic expression, it means you have understood the first part of the algebra. You're going also to learn equation with one unknown. So you're going to learn also how to solve equations, with a one unknown. That is a very important part, with one unknown. Also, you're going to learn how to solve equations. You're going to know how to solve equations with two unknowns. Okay, and also in this chapter, you're going to know how to solve inequality algebraic expression. You're going to learn how to solve inequalities algebraic expressions. So let's start with the first part, which is algebraic expression. Okay, let's start with the algebraic expression. Okay, let's start with algebraic expression. So what is an algebraic expression? Actually, algebraic expression is a mathematical statement which contains numbers, letters, and mathematical operation such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So all of these numbers, letters, and mathematical operations are the ones which are made in that term called the algebraic expression. Okay, so example of algebraic expression. Example of algebraic expression. So example of an algebraic expression, let's say you have 5x minus 3y plus 8. This is an algebraic expression. First of all, why? It is made up with numbers. You see, when you talk about numbers, you can see we have 5 and 8. When we talk about letters, because we have said algebraic expression made up with numbers, letters, we are having x and y. And when you look at the mathematical operations, you can see we are having subtraction and addition. So all of these are making up an algebraic expression. So if you see anything kind of this means it's an algebraic expression. But you can understand me. We are using in algebraic expression, we are using numbers and letters. That's why sometimes back we used to say length is represented by L, radius is represented by R, diameter is represented by D. Okay, so algebraic expressions can be formed by using numbers, letters, and mathematical operations. But we can go far and understand that these algebraic expressions also can contain something called there's things called like terms and unlike terms. These also are the part of the algebraic expression. Example, you can be given this equation, and you need to collect the likely terms or unlikely terms. Okay, so example, you have been given 6x squared y, add let's say 2x squared y minus let's say 3m n, and then maybe add 2u y squared. Okay, so likely terms and unlikely terms, sometimes their letters, they have contained exponents. Okay, their letters have been they have been containing exponents. So what are in these equations, what are the likely terms? So the terms which have similar letters and their value of a single letter contains the same exponent, this we call likely terms. So likely terms from this equation, so likely terms is actually equals to the 6x squared y and 2x squared y. And unlikely terms are equals to negative 3mn and 2uy squared. And what does it mean? You can add or subtract, okay, or subtract, or divide, multiply, okay, the likely terms, but you can't for the you can't for unlikely terms. Okay, so this is important to understand about likely terms and unlikely terms. This is very key, so that you can be able to look at the way you move forward. You can see application of all of these things I'm explaining right now. So let's proceed.